Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello and welcome to my channel. So today I'll be doing a landscape painting, and this time we'll be doing a sunset scene with the bench, or it's like a park with the lake. So I'll be sketching it first before we do all the highlights and detailing. But first, let me tell you the colors that we'll be using for today's painting tutorial. So we have, of course, mid yellow or lemon yellow, primary blue, black, titanium white. This is olive green and burnt sienna. I will use a little bit of orange and a little bit of sap green later, but that would be later. We'll stick first to the sap green and the yellow color. And as you can see here, my canvas is painted gray. You don't have to have a gray background for this. It's just an old painting of mine that I painted over so that I can reuse the canvas. And yeah, you don't have to have a gray background, but I think this will also serve as the underpainting for my subject. So let's start now. I'm gonna wash my brush out. I'll be using a fairly large brush. As you can see here, it's quite large. Okay, so this one, it's size 12. All right, so I can see the number here. It's size 12. So I'm gonna use this first to start with the sky and some reflections. So for that, since this is sunset, you can see a lot of yellow and a little bit of orange and brown in the sky. So get your lemon yellow or mid yellow, add burnt sienna a bit like this. Okay, and let's start. There's no particular pattern or direction. Just color it first this way. I'm gonna add a little bit of black since my yellow is quite transparent. So by adding white, it becomes a little more opaque. Again, brown and yellow plus white. Yes, this is way better. Okay, it's a little more brown. Let's make it light on the right side. I forgot to tape my canvas board. That's why it keeps on moving. So I'm just gonna tape the back of my canvas board onto the surface so that it doesn't move as we paint. Okay, just gonna tape it like that. All right, I hope it doesn't move. All right, perfect. So it's no longer moving. Oops, it's still moving. The tape is not that strong anymore. Okay. All right, like that. As you can see here, I'm not really painting the right side of the sky part, simply because it will be covered with a tree later. But if you're into this sky painting, you can actually paint that so that we don't have to paint the negative spaces with the sky color, if you know what I mean. You know, the colors in between the foliage is the sky color as well. So if you would like to save yourself that what do you call this? If you'd like to save yourself from that difficult way of going into the negative spaces, you can simply paint the sky, completely paint this area with this color so that it peeks through the spaces between the foliage. I hope I'm making sense because yeah, it's quite hard to speak English today. I don't know why. All right. It's really up to you, but later you will see that this area will be covered with foliage, but I think it's important to allow this sky color to somehow peek through or be seen between the spaces or in between the foliage. Yeah, I hope I made it clear. All right, like that. Okay, I'm gonna get my okay, I'm gonna get the same color. Let's proceed to the reflection part. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of brown and yellow. We're just gonna do the same thing right here, but do it quite horizontally. I'm just mixing yellow and brown. Do this quite horizontally because this will serve as the reflections of the sky. We haven't identified yet the horizon line, but somehow I'm already giving you the idea of where the horizon line is gonna go. Definitely it will be here since we started doing the horizontal brush strokes right here. And also right here. Okay, definitely I'm gonna go back to the sky part. It looks a little raw and there are a lot of spaces that you can see the canvas. Okay, all right. Okay, now let's go to this land area. This is the sky, the water, all right. The sky, horizon line, the water, and the land, or the foreground. So for the foreground, I'm just gonna use my black and mix it with my olive green right here so that the black does not appear super black. And I'm just gonna go and apply this color right here. Again, we're still in the underpainting part. So everything you see here will be raw and or sometimes it doesn't make sense. All right, like that. All right, this is the underpainting again. Okay, now let's proceed to doing the horizon line. As I told you earlier, this will be the horizon since we started doing the horizontal brush strokes right here. So this will be the horizon line. So for that, to separate the horizon line from the sky, so I'm gonna use my primary blue, add white, and add black. So it should be like this color because everything in the distance or everything from the distance appear to be more bluish than they actually are. I'm gonna add blue. Maybe I'm gonna add burnt sienna a bit, like this color. So it's like dull light blue. Gonna use this. Okay, right here. So this will be the distant mountains. Distant trees. Maybe I'm gonna darken it a bit. It's quite light. So to darken it, I'm just gonna add black. Okay. And now it's gonna extend right here. So this will be the distant mountains. that will only be seen in the background. Let's underpaint it first. I'm gonna lighten it a bit later, but for now let's just do some dark bluish color for the mountains. We'll be lightening it later, okay? But just to be consistent with the process that we're doing, we're underpainting, so the underpainting should be darker than the highlights. Again, this is the horizon line. All right, like that. Definitely we'll be going back to this area. For now, let's go and make some more distant or some distant trees, but a little nearer to the viewer. So for that, I'll be getting my black again and blue. This will be quite darker than the mountain underpainting. Again, blue. And I'm gonna use this to create some suggestion of distant trees, but not as far as those mountains that you see already on the canvas. So I'll be creating a little bit of suggestion. Okay. The more distant the object is, the more suggestive our brush strokes become, because we cannot really go into full detail of those subjects, or for those subjects that are located in the distant or in the farmost location of the image. Perspective tells us that the farther the object, the less detailed it becomes. We are more concerned about the shapes, what they appear from the distance, more than what they actually are when you are close to them. So again, these are more distant. Again, make your brush strokes right here quite uneven so that they would suggest nature, like trees that are unevenly shaped. They're not structures or anything like that. They are more of natural things in the background. But of course, it's up to you. If you want the background to be buildings, it's up to you. But for today's tutorial, we'll be doing nature. Okay, I'm gonna extend it a little here. Okay, we will straighten more this looks good already. We will straighten more the horizon line later. But now you already have an idea of where things are gonna go. As I told you guys, the mountains here on the background will be lightened with lighter colors. And I think we can proceed now to lightening the colors of the mountain. I'm gonna get first my black, and I'm just gonna outline a bit these trees. So just paint the outline, or just outline first, meaning you don't go into this area, just here. Try to outline it. This outline will separate these trees or suggestion of trees from the distant mountains. Just like that. Okay. And then wash your brush out. Now, let's go to the mountains. Let's highlight some areas of the mountains. We're just gonna use the same color right here, only that we're gonna add more white, more blue, like this. And we're gonna dry brush, okay? So meaning you remove the excess water from the paintbrush. I'm just gonna dab it onto a towel, and I'm gonna use this color. Okay, I'm gonna get more white. It's not that light. Okay, I'm gonna use this color to dry brush over the mountain area. just to lighten the mountain area. Okay, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna add a little bit of browny color on the mountain because mountains are supposed to be soily and all that, rocky. So I'm gonna add brown to my blue here. I'm gonna add white and again brown. It's like this, it's like milky brown. Again, just remove the excess water from the paintbrush and try to apply it on the mountain area, just to have a suggestion of soils and rocks on the distant mountains, because even if the mountains are quite distant, we should somehow see what's in the mountain. Meaning it's not that far. It's far, but it's not far enough for you not to be able to see some of the things that are going on in the mountain. Okay, I'm gonna get again this blue color. I'm gonna darken it a bit. Certain areas will be highlighted that we already did, but some areas will not be super light. All right, like that. Okay, we'll go back to that later. All right, now let's go back to the sky, because I told you guys that the sky is not yet finished. It looks a little raw for me. I'm gonna get my lemon yellow, okay, add white, add brown, not too much, like maybe this color, and let's go back, create some details on the clouds. It's like double underpainting your sky section, just to remove all those spaces or those bald spaces. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of white just to lighten this area, to suggest some light as well. Okay, I'm gonna get my burnt sienna. Get your burnt sienna and try to create some browny colors in the sky. Again, this is the suggestion of the sunset skies. Okay, I'm gonna get just pure yellow. Okay, maybe not pure, I'm gonna add white. Also here. Okay, I'm gonna get my white and mix it with a little bit of brown, just to make the white a little dull. And I'm gonna apply it right here. And also here. Alright, like that. And we're going to lighten as well the right side, because the suggestion is the light is coming from the right side. So don't worry too much actually about the right side, because again, a lot of this area will be painted with the foliage because of a tree coming from the foreground that will be covering the right side. So don't worry too much about this area as long as we know exactly where the light is coming from. So just make this corner a little lighter or brighter compared to the left side. It's more yellowy, orangey color. Like this. Okay. Again, I want to go for more browny color. Maybe you can add water on your paintbrush so that when you glide onto, when your paintbrush glides on the canvas, it's more smooth. Okay. You can have whatever sunset sky that you want for your painting, but yeah, you don't have to have the exact sky as mine. This is just a suggestion. You actually try to observe what a sunset sky looks like. We will come up with different skies, maybe with similar colors because I'm instructing you to use particular colors. But as to the colors on the canvas, we will definitely come up with different versions. I'm gonna get my mid-yellow just to add more yellowness on the right side. All right, like that. Okay, all right, I like it. Oh my gosh, absolutely love it. Okay, now let's go to the water part because the water will reflect what's above it. And since we have a sunset sky, we will have some sunset reflections on the water. And for that, we'll be using the same color, only that they will be done in a different brush strokes, which is more horizontal. This one, you were like going vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. But for the waters, we're just gonna go horizontal since we're following the law of nature. So for that, we'll be using yellow. Just get short lemon yellow, maybe add water, add a little bit of brown, just to tone the yellowness down. And let's go and apply some horizontal brush strokes to suggest the water part. All right, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get my brown, just brown, and maybe add white. Okay, now let's go back to that part where the water and the land meets. So right here, I'm gonna add a little bit of brownie color right here. And right here. Just more brownie here. All right, like that. I'm gonna wash my brush out and let's do the reflections of the mountain. That would be the same color as the mountain that we had here. So blue and black. All right, blue and black. Just combine them. You can add a little bit of brown just to add more dullness. Okay, we're going to use this color to do some reflections. All right, this is quite dark. I should stick to this color, or maybe I should lighten it a bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of white. It's too dark. Okay, now let's go and make some more horizontal brush strokes to suggest reflections of the mountains. Again, go horizontal. The reflections are quite distorted, so you don't have to have a mountain shape on the reflections because reflections changes, the reflections change the appearance of the thing being reflected. All right, like that. Okay, this is really nice. All right, like that. Maybe add a little bit of that color, quite randomly here and there. Okay. All right, wash your brush out. Now let's go to the foreground, which is untouched at the moment. So you can see here we only have our underpainting here, which is dark green. Let's go and create the tree on the foreground. So for the tree, I'm just gonna use my black. So get your black. And again, we will be painting over some of the areas that you see here. As I told you earlier, you don't have to worry too much about the right side because a lot of it will be covered with a tree later. And we're doing it now. Okay, like that. So we're just gonna color this brown. I'm gonna add a little bit of burnt sienna to the black so that it's not super black. But just paint it with this color, cover the whole thing with this color because we're painting a sunset scene, so a lot of the things on the foreground is more of a silhouette type, meaning you just see the black image and a little bit of highlighted portion compared to a sunny day where everything is highlighted. All right. So again, just cover it with this color. All right, like that. Okay, maybe here. So the tree is super big that its branches extend up to the extreme portion or extreme side of the canvas board that I'm using. So just add little branches here, although a lot of this will be covered with foliage anyway, but just to be more realistic, let's just do some branches, even if they will be covered anyway. It's like doing a good thing with even no one is looking at you. It's similar to this. Just do it, even if you know that they will be covered anyway. It's not wasting time. It's more of knowing what you're doing and you know that it's the right thing to do. Okay, we're going deeper at this moment. Okay, my cell phone is, it's like Siri is reading my voice. I'm not even instructing her to do anything. All right, so I think that would be enough branches. We can add more branches later. For now, this is just an idea that this is a tree with lots of branches. I will use a small or a more pointy brush later to get more accurate small branches, little branches that are sticking out from the foliage. So let's do some foliage now since we're already started the tree. And for the foliage, I'm just gonna use my fan brush. Maybe I'm gonna use a thicker fan brush like this. So this is my fan brush. I don't know what size this is, but just use a thick fan brush. All right, so I'm gonna wet it a bit. I'm gonna dab onto my black. Again, the subject is more silhouette type of subject since it's a sunset scene. So I'm gonna use black first for the foliage before we do the highlights, which are yellow-green in color. So I'm gonna start just right here. Do not worry too much about foliage making. It's just dot making, or it's like this. Just fill in all the spaces. Okay, don't fill in all the spaces. I mean, quite randomly. Just do this quite randomly, meaning leave spaces in between the foliage, because those spaces will be spaces for the highlights later. For now, let's just do some silhouette type of foliage. So we're more concerned about the leaves now, or about the shape of the leaves, more than what a leaf look like, because these are a lot. So not only when the subject is distant, when we do suggestive brushstrokes, but also when the subject is a lot, meaning the volume of the leaves is too much that we cannot really go into full detail of what a real leaf looks like. We cannot really detail each and every leaf that we see on the foliage. Besides, there's no light because this is a sunset scene. There's no light on certain areas of the painting. Therefore, highlighting is not necessary and would be inconsistent with the law of light when it comes to painting. So again, I'm just filling in those spaces, but I'm not filling everything in with this color simply because some will be reserved for highlights. For now, let's just add a little bit of black here and there, quite randomly on the canvas, but save some spaces for highlights. Okay, I'm using the tip of my, what is this? Fan brush to create foliage-like brushstrokes that we would not have achieved if we're just using an ordinary brush. It's also quite fast when we do it with a fan brush. All right, okay, again, fill in those spaces. This is absolutely nice. Okay. We will go back to doing more negative spaces like this, or dark foliage, or unhighlighted foliage. But let's wash our brush out. Okay. Make sure that a lot of your black is already, make sure that you get rid of the black color, a lot of it, if not all. And then dab onto your olive green and then yellow to create some yellow greeny color. But then the presence of the black paint that we used earlier makes the color quite muted. Although the olive green is already muted, but still it adds more muteness to the color. So I'm gonna add this color to the foliage. We're going to do it one by one, meaning layer by layer. Again, just add a little bit of this color here and there and here. Even in between those tight spaces that you see. Just to make this tree more full. Okay, I'm gonna add brown to the existing color that we have here. I'm gonna add brown, okay, making the green more muted. And again, let's go back. You know, by doing this, we make our tree a lot fuller and more realistic. And as you can see as well, we're not applying this color on the whole tree, on the whole tree. Why am I saying 3 instead of 3? So, all right. So light or the sun really affects the colors that we see in nature. It's not really affecting the natural colors of the leaves, but its appearance, okay? It's like makeup. Changes the way you look by changing the colors that we apply on the palette or we use for the painting. Okay, now I'm gonna use my yellow. This time I'm gonna add white so that's quite lighter. And as you can see as well, I did not wash my brush because there's no point in washing the brush. I'm gonna add a little bit, just a little bit, okay? Go into those tight spaces to suggest light passing through the foliage. You don't have to do this all over the tree. Just do it quite randomly. All right, like that. All right, okay. I think I can wash my brush out. We'll go back to that later, okay? Okay, I want to add more depth, so I'm gonna get my black. Let's go back to doing some more negative spaces and more dark foliage. Dark foliage and foliage that are not highlighted. Okay, you can hear cars, even if it's a Sunday. Sorry about that. If you're new to my channel, you probably will be disturbed by those sounds. But for those who have been watching my videos for quite some time now, they probably got used to it. Okay, now I'm gonna get a more pointy brush, as I told you earlier, just to add more branches. So I'm gonna use my pointy brush to create some branches that are sticking out. Okay. All right, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the foreground. As you can see here, it's not really, it's very raw. And we're gonna use the same fan brush, only that we're gonna wash a lot. Okay, we're gonna remove too much black from the fan brush this time. And in the same manner that we did the foliage, we're going to use the tip of the fan brush. So I'm gonna get my yellow, mix it with my olive green right here. Okay, I'm gonna use this blue since we're going to use a little bit of this kind of green it's more of sap green color, I'm gonna add brown. And with this color, we're just gonna make some grass-like foliage brush strokes. So again, just use the tip of the fan brush and go vertical, imitating the shape of grasses. Okay, be gentle with the way you do this and be patient because you cannot really rush this step. So again, I kind of like the way the brown is showing through that greeny color. I think I accidentally touched the brown paint, that's why I'm getting some browny colors, but I kind of like it as well. And make sure that the grass overlaps. Okay. And yeah, overlaps each other so that it looks more natural. Grasses grow in different direction. All right, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna dab onto my yellow. Let's start creating some highlights on the grasses. Okay, and also some of the grasses right here, not everything here, will be highlighted. All right, just like that. I'm gonna get my burnt sienna, mix it with the yellow color that I have here. And again, just highlight. Okay, I really love this painting. I don't know why. I just fell in love with it already. It's so relaxing and it's so relaxing to do. Sometimes I'm stressed out when I'm doing a tutorial, to be honest, guys, because I know that some people are watching me. So it's different when you're just painting for yourself, but when you know someone is watching you, I feel stressed out. But for this painting, I feel more relaxed and I feel like I'm there. I don't know if it's just me. I hope you feel the same way. All right, let me check. Oh my God, this is so good. So good. I love it, guys. I super duper love it. Now I'm gonna dab onto my black and mix that with my olive green. This will serve as the depth, okay? And yeah, depth and negative spaces as well. All right, wash brush out now. Let's do the bench. But before we do the bench, I want to go back to the water part since it's not really completely, it's still raw for me. I mean, the way I see it, it's quite raw. So I'm gonna use a quite medium brush just to get things done quite quickly. So I'm gonna get my pure mid yellow right here and then mix with white. And I'm just gonna highlight some of the water portion. I think this is too light, but I like it. It's by accident. So I'm gonna apply that color. And also right here. Right, like that. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna use my brown, my burnt sienna. Okay, and using white, let's just make some distant highlights. I don't know why it's Sunday, but the road is just so noisy today. I don't know why. All right, okay, now I'm just so excited to do the bench. So for the bench, I'm just gonna sketch first the subject so that you know how to do it. It's very simple. These are just straight lines. A lot of these are straight lines. So for that, I'll be getting my black. So I'm gonna be using more black because I already ran out of black. Okay, I'm gonna get my black and get my burnt sienna. Mix it with the burnt sienna color. And let's just sketch first the subject. Okay. So I'm gonna do first 2 lines. Okay, like here. Alright, just do 2 lines first. Okay, like that. And I'm gonna thicken it by changing the position of the brush. Just like that. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. Like that. Okay, you can actually make it quite uneven since we're painting a wooden bench. Okay, and now I'm going to do 2 vertical lines right here. All right, like that. All right, these are like popsicle sticks. All right, I'm imagining ice cream at the moment. Now I'm going to create another horizontal line that will serve as the seat. Okay. Now, I'm going to make it a little thicker. Right, like that. If you commit mistakes, it's alright. You can simply delete that. Alright, like that. Okay, I'm gonna extend it a little further. Alright, like that. And then using black, I'm just go and redefine the back, the back of the chair, because these 2 parallel lines should be over those vertical lines. All right, like that. And using black again, we're just going to create some connecting woods right here, diagonal lines. Okay, and another vertical line to serve as the foot of the chair. Like that. All right. Oh, this is nice. Oh my gosh. All right. I think this is stable enough. If someone sits here, I think he or she will be safe. Okay. All right, now let's just highlight the tree and the chair or the bench, because even if it's sunset, some of the light is still, you know, still. Oh my God, did you just see how my paintbrush slipped right through my hand? I'm gonna get burnt sienna. Why did I get blue? I'm gonna get yellow and burnt sienna. I'm gonna highlight first the tree, the left side. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of brown on the tree, quite randomly, but a lot of it will be dark greeny because of the absence of light. Okay, that's enough. And using the same browny color, let's go and highlight the bench. Okay, I'm gonna get a smaller brush. I'm gonna get my yellow. Yellow and brown. Just for highlights. Okay, and then using black, I'm just gonna fix this part. It looks a little weird. Okay. Again, if the shape of your wood is quite imperfect, it's all right, because it's wood. It will only suggest that it's more natural looking, more rustic, or an old bench, something like that. Okay, again, using my brown and yellow, let's highlight this area. Like that. It's not too much. It's not too much highlight, really. Some of it you probably don't see, but it's looking so nice. I'm gonna change this yellow to a little bit of brown, not yellow. It's too much. Okay, like that. And then let's go back to using some yellow, because I want more highlights on the grasses. Like that. Especially here. Okay, here as well. All right, like that. And then using yellow again and a little bit of brown. Let's create some random highlights on those dark sections. like that. Okay. I'm gonna go back a bit to the sky part. I'm gonna get my yellow. And I'm just gonna color it. I'm just gonna glaze it with a lot of yellow right here. And also here. Alright. More yellow. Like that. And I probably won't be using orange anymore. I don't think I need orange for this one. Okay, I think we're done, guys. This is so nice. It's just so nice. So if you want to add a little bit of like a tree branch, like a suggestion that there is a tree going on here, you can do that. Okay. Okay. And I'm just gonna get a little bit of white. Okay, white and blue, like this. I want to use this color and go back to the background mountain. I feel like the background mountain should be lighter. So I'm just gonna use my fingers to apply that light color. We just want that mountain to appear more light. Okay. Like that. Oops. Like that. All right, I like it. Much better. Oh my gosh, I really love this one. So I think I'm gonna sign this now because I absolutely love it. Now, if you want to go even further, you can actually add more yellow. Okay? Because sometimes I do love obsessing about highlights. You can add more pure yellow on the grasses. You can always do whatever it is that you want for the painting. Alright, like that. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna dab onto my black to oops, I mix it with white. I'm gonna dab onto my black to apply more depth. And then here as well, on the tree, I'm just randomly applying that. This is absolutely nice, absolutely nice. I like it. Okay, I think I'm gonna sign this now because we're done. So for the signature, I'm just gonna use a more pointy brush. I'm gonna get my white and I'm gonna sign right here. And we're done. We're done, guys! We did it in 1 hour. I'm just so happy. I really love this painting. Again, this relaxed me. Uh, I often stress about painting when I'm doing tutorials because I feel like it's time constrained. But today, not only did I enjoy doing a tutorial for you, but it actually helped me relax on a Sunday. So thanks for allowing me to do this, uh, tutorial making for all of you, because it's an opportunity for me to share with other people my painting skills. And I hope you like this painting video for today. I hope you enjoy this one, and if you're doing this, let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what you think about this painting. If you really like it, let me know. So see you in my next video, guys. Bye, guys.